To be in a jama'at means community. The word in Islam, it means jama'at, community. Allah is jami, the one who brings people together. People can be brought together for any reason in the world. It doesn't mean that a group of people who come together, they are good. People are coming together to destroy other people. People are coming together to curse other people, correct? People are coming together to build walls. People are coming together to have hate and racism. This is also coming together. This is also community. But is this the kind of community that any spiritual tradition is talking about? No. People can come together for good things. People can come together also for soccer. People can come together to have a jama'at for cooking. People can come together to form a jama'at, to form a community for their own desires, for this world, for ego, and for shaitan. But that doesn't mean these jama'ats, these communities, it is blessed and it is encouraged by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are coming here together for what? First, you have to know. The khutbah is also saying we must come together. Allah wants us to be together, to not divide. But what it is that is not going to divide? It says come together and to unite what? The hearts. Skin color may not be in unity, doesn't matter too much. Language doesn't matter too much. Interests doesn't matter too much. But the heart must come together because the heart is the most important thing. Now, if the hearts are together and still you're a little bit separated from each other because of your language, because of your interests, because of your attitude, because of your knowledge, doesn't matter too much because the hearts, they are together. This is the most important thing. Community, a jama'at is not, they say in English, we're not aiming for utopia. We're not aiming for paradise here on earth where everybody lives completely perfectly. It is not. This world is not perfect. Our lives are not perfect. And we have the traditions of the 124,000 prophets, their prophets with their nations and with each other, to show that there will always be some form of difference. But you can use that difference to divide, or you can use that difference to also unite. The Prophet ﷺ also said, differences in my community, it is a blessing to my community. Differences in my community, it is a rahmat. Why is that? Now you see, in the ways of doing, in the ways of shariat, in the ways of the physical laws, religious laws of our Islam, following the way of the Prophet, the Ahl Sunnah way, there are 4 mazhab, 4 schools of thought. They are not sects. People always make that mistake, just as people make the mistake about commune and a community. A group of people together and utopia, they make the difference. So, mazhab is not a sect. A sect is one group that is against to another group, or one group that came off from another group and that divides itself again and again and again, and they don't necessarily see things eye to eye. They don't agree with each other. And when it comes to sect, especially in religion, usually it comes to war, it comes to violence. These are 4 schools of thought. These are 4 ways to go to the same destination. Just as when you take the highway, big highways, you have not only 1 lane, you have 4 lanes. You want to go fast, you go all the way to the left. You want to slow down, you go all the way to the right. each according now to how they want to reach, where they want to reach, according to their own reason and intention. So these 4 schools, this mazhab, in Islam this is Sharia, correct? They are not fighting with each other. They're just different ways of doing it. Why is this important? This is important because if you have one way to go, it's okay when there's like 100 cars on the road. There's only one road, correct? What happens when there's 1,000 cars with one lane? It's going to be some trouble. What if there's 1,000,000 cars? Forget about it, like they say in New York. So what do you need to do? Now when you have several lanes going, that is a mercy. People say, no, 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 you are dividing. It is not dividing. You're not separating from each other. Still same direction, same goal, but now you have different ways to reach it. Because in terms of, this is what I'm saying, Prophet ﷺ saying the differences in my community is a blessing to the community. Because, for example, in doing things, in, say, making your ablution, washing yourself before you pray, very important. All prophets did that. Especially the prophets of the Old Testament, they all washed themselves, of the Bani Israel, including Isa alayhi salam, he washed himself before he prays. We have several principles of that, of washing. But now, according to the 4 schools of thought, some say that you have to have running water continuously in order for that wudu to be sahih, for the wudu to be acceptable. Some, they say it is not running water, it is the amount of water. Some, they say it is not the amount of water, it is how much water covers the skin. Now everyone has their own logic and reasoning according to the Quran and the Sunnah, according to the scriptures and according to the practices of the Prophet, because these are the 2 things that we hold on tightly to. Islam is based on these 2 things. It is not only the book of Allah, it is according to the traditions of the Prophet. Because it is through the traditions of the Prophet that explains the book of Allah. If there's no one to explain the book of Allah, then you'll have billions of interpretations. And when you do that without following the one who is the book was sent to, you're interpreting only with your ego. What happens? You become a sect and you start fighting with each other. Now these are the different ways. It's very simple. Did the Prophet ﷺ, did he wash himself with running water? Yes, he did. Did he wash himself with a big quantity of water? Yes, he did. Did he wash himself with a small quantity of water? He did that. He did all these different things, and it is a blessing. These different things, it is a blessing because now it suits to your time and to your place. For some, they live in where water is plentiful. Some, they live where there's no water at all. Some, they live where there's completely no water and they have to make the wudu with dust, with tayammum, and that is also allowed. Now you ask a question. You're saying, being in a jamaat like this, being in a community, sometimes you feel alone or you feel individualistic. And I said, it is not the aim of a jamaat now to have one body, one mind, one spirit. No, the hearts are together. We feel, we know, we observe, but you still maintain your own identity. You have to. There's a difference between a jamaat and a cult. You understand? The cult says no identity, everyone must be the same. It isn't. It's very easy to say, I have my group, I want everybody to be the same, to force everyone. It's very easy to run things that way. Military has been doing that, other places have been doing that, everyone to be the same. It is very difficult to have a group and to say, no, we're not aiming for everyone to be the same. Our hearts are together, but everyone must come to their own individual identities and secrets and understandings. That is the most difficult thing to do. That you have to balance the 2. Do you understand what I'm saying? That you have to balance the 2. To just say everyone is the same, cookie cutter, is very easy. People have been doing that for thousands of years. To say we want a community, but no cookie cutter. We want everyone to be individual and different, but to work together, that is almost impossible. And that is where Tariqat and Sufism steps in. Because Sufism is making everyone to understand the secret that Allah has given to you, that is different from you, different from you, different from you. Because every one of us, we are a proof of Allah's unity, Allah's oneness. Because everyone is individual. Everything in creation is only one. Not two, not three, one. No two blades of grass are the same. In the billions of years that this world has existed, maybe, no two snowflakes are the same. No two drops of rain, they are the same. No two breaths, they are the same. No two steps that you make yourself, they are the same. So man, without any access to philosophy, without any access to very high-level intelligent books, he just to sit and to understand what is around him, he will come to very deep and profound conclusions by himself. Because in reality, Allah has put that awakening into each and every one of us, that knowledge into it just has to blossom, to open. And that opening is not through reading books so much too. That opening is when you yourself, you allow yourself to open, to understand. That opening is not also just to meet someone and to listen to someone. It's whether you allow yourself to open to listen to that someone. There are millions who read books, they gain nothing from it. There are billions who meet people, they meet Salihin, they meet the friends of Allah, they meet the prophets of Allah, nothing happens to them. In fact, they become worse. It is not the fault of the books or the teachers or the inspiration. It is how you open your heart. Now, being in community, when your heart that you are trying to unite and to be together, what happens then? Your heart gets bigger. What does that mean? You will start caring. The way you care and the way you look for yourself, you'll start caring for the next person. Now, people come to the Dergah, people come to a community. First, if they really want to come, they go through a honeymoon period. Everything is so wonderful, everything is so nice. That is a phase they have to go through. Then later they discover, oh, people are kind of different. That is a phase they have to go through. Later they discover, oh, this is not what it seemed in the beginning. That is also a phase that you have to go through. All these phases, they are just a step. They're not true completely, they're also not false completely. Just as when you first fall in love, or you have a crush. I don't know why they say crush. What are you crushing? You're crushing your ego, maybe. But no. Crush, usually your ego gets bigger. Everything you don't know, but you feel so much. Then later you get to know the person, the real person, things start shifting. Then when you decide to commit to each other and to live your life, things start shifting again. Then when you decide to marry and pay the bills and raise children, it starts shifting again. When you have grandchildren, it starts shifting again. It doesn't mean the first time when you fall in love, that crush, this is more superior to when you're a grandfather. In fact, when you're a grandfather is more superior than when you first had the first flush of love. Because when you first have that, just that feeling, it is empty. There is no fruit. There is no value really. It's just you. But when you start to, a person is in front of you, start to negotiate with that person, there is still that love, of course, but this person is a completely different person from you. Now you love. The love, it is also part of you has to disappear. So you become, that love now becomes more full, more complete, more mature. It starts to produce results. Do you understand? So that is a phase that you're going through. You're going to, of course you're going to see, either you're going to feel so alone, or you're going to feel that everyone is just being selfish. That's just a phase that you have to go through. First you have to ask yourself, whenever you're going through that, what are you here for? What are you here for? If you're here just to have that honeymoon period, it is not real, it is not logical, it can never continue. If you're here to produce something, which I'm sure everybody wants to produce something, and I don't mean physically also, I'm talking about being more complete, being more of a human, understanding yourself, understanding the caring, having your heart to grow, to break the idols in there, the idol of yourself, and to grow. Once you start doing that, there's going to be an amount of pain and understanding, and the pain of understanding. But when you start doing that, you're going to produce results. And that is more valuable now. What you felt before, it was valuable to you, just to you. But later on, just like when you fall in love and you marry and you start being a member of the community, and you start being valuable to others too. So which one is better? Valuable to you or valuable to others? Khutbah is also saying in this way, what it is. It's not only in this way, it's in every way. It's others before self. And Shaitan and our ego never wants us to be in community. Never. Especially a community of believers. It doesn't. It will look, if there are 100 things and there are 99 good things about the community and one bad thing about the community, every community, like I said, we're not here for utopia. We're not here to make a perfect society. That's not our point. Our point is to discover each other's humanity. What is human, what is divine, and what is ego, and what is shaitan. You understand? Everything has to be there. So, when you're coming in and you are just wanting that utopia, that honeymoon to continue, it is something that is very immature. And shaitan will never leave you alone. He's going to say, although you see 99 things, there's one thing that is wrong, concentrate on that one thing. It doesn't matter if it's community or parents or the one that you love. When the shaitan and your ego takes over, it only wants to look at what separates you. Even if the things that unite you, they are overwhelming. We are different colors. There are more things that overwhelmingly unite us than divide us. Number one, we're all one race, the human race. That is enough. Enough reason. Doesn't matter what color you are, what creed you follow, enough reason. You are one race. And this is not something that one person said. This is what everybody has been saying. All the prophets have been saying. All the saints, all the friends of Allah, all the good people have been saying. What does shaitan and your ego want to say? They want to say, no, you are different. Them versus us versus them. Build a wall. Kick them out. But in the spiritual way, even when you look at shaitan, you're not going to blame shaitan. You're going to say that shaitan, I have those same qualities. You see a wrong person, a bad person in front of you, you're not going to say, this is a bad person, I'm not like that. Once you say that, then you have the dishonor of arrogance. And that's already proof enough that it is not your sense that is speaking to you. It is your shaitan that is speaking, because you find yourself to be arrogant better than that. But our ego is worse than shaitan. So you take lesson. Like what the Prophet ﷺ says, either take lesson or you're going to be a lesson. You understand? So, how are you going to get out from this? After you finish moping and feeling sorry for yourself, when you're ready to just stand up a little bit, start caring for other people. Oh, that person doesn't really care for me. That's not your point, and that's not what you should be doing. It is what you should be doing. It is not what other people are doing. Once you do that, you finish with the exercise. You're not taking value from it. You have to care. And in this situation, the Dergah, it is very specific what you need to be caring about. It's not a vague idea. It's not a philosophy. Number one, take care of your work, of your responsibility. If you drop the responsibility, it doesn't matter if you say how much you love and how much you want to be together, but you're not bringing home the bread. Your family is going to starve. No matter how much you say you love, but you're not bringing home the bread. I don't want to say bacon because we don't eat bacon. We eat bread. You understand? So there has to be a proof for that. Inshallah, may Allah make us to become more mature in this understanding and less childish. Ego is very childish. It's not mature. May Allah forgive me and bless you, inshallah. Fatiha.